Hello and welcome to Sport Vibes on DNTWOK. Of course, this is that channel where you get the latest updates across the world of sports, talking about sport vibes. And this time around, the year 2022 has kicked off. Sport in the year 2022 is in full gear now. Quite a number of exciting actions across the world of sports. And now there's still so much more to anticipate, and we are here to serve you some of the very latest of those. My name is Bolaji Alimi, the sports pilot. And yet again, I have the privilege of flying you across the world of sports to experience the very best. Stay tuned and get set for this ride. Let's head towards the world of tennis because there's quite a number of actions to be expected. Of course, some are going down already, but the Australian Open, the first Grand Slam of the year, is hugely anticipated. Starts on the 17th of this month, January. And beyond the on-field preparation by athletes, there's been quite a number of disputes, and this majorly centers around the world number one, Novak Djokovic. And this is an update from that because the judge hearing Novak Djokovic challenge to an order by the Australian government revoking his entry visa has dramatically overturned the decision. Judge Anthony Kelly ordered the release of the tennis star from detention and told the government to pay his costs. Of course, the 34-year-old tennis star, world number one, was heading towards Australia with the hope of defending his Australian Open crown, which he won last year. But of course, as it is in life, many times people would say, and it seems to be quite true, that when you seem to be on the verge of a huge breakthrough, there will be challenges. It just seems to be a natural thing with life. And Novak Djokovic, a man on form, couldn't win the US Open last year to complete a calendar slam, but this is a man on the verge of winning that one, the first Grand Slam title on the men's wing, which will be an all-time record. And with all these things happening, even if he goes on to participate in the Australian Open in Melbourne, you'd expect the mental blow to play a role. But of course, some would also believe that Novak Djokovic is a man of a huge mental and strong character, if we put it that way. We'll be able to bounce back from all this if he eventually decides to participate. So a lot of support coming in for him, protesters in front of the courthouse while the decision was being made. And of course, there is an update about the fact that the immigration minister, Alex Hawke, would still cancel his visa, but we'll just keep our fingers crossed and expect the very best to happen, the very best that would favor the world of sports to emanate from that end. So for Novak Djokovic and the rest of the tennis stars preparing for the Australian Open, wish them best of luck. And now let's head straight to the world of football. The AFCON 2021 has finally begun. Yes, you had that right, 2021. It was supposed to hold in the year 2021, but due to the fact that there was COVID-19 issue, as we saw with the case of the Euro 2020 having to be played in the year 2021, so it is for the AFCON 2021 being played right now in the year 2022 in Cameroon. Of course, there's quite a lot that has happened so far, but we'll look away from that for now and just get you excited the more. Who are the favorites you should be looking forward to? Who are those teams you should expect to lift the trophy come the end of the competition in February? And we start with Algeria. Algeria are the defending champions of AFCON. This is a team with huge potential. Potential because they still have quite a number of heights to attain with the kind of squad they've got. Of course, when you mention Algeria, the first name that comes to mind for most sport-loving people, for most football lovers, would be Manchester City star Riyad Mahrez. But beyond Riyad Mahrez, a team that goes as far as winning more than 30 matches without losing at all, on course to break the record set by the Gli Azzurri, the Italian national team. A team like that do not depend on a single player. There are unsung heroes like Youssef Belaili and quite a number of players spread across the squad. So for Algeria, the expectation level is high. Their coach Jamel Belmadi has been great so far with the team. And of course, you want to mention the fact that they are two-time winners. That gives you confidence, especially minding the fact that they won the last showpiece in Egypt in the year 2019. Another team you'd want to mention is Senegal. Senegal has got Sadio Mane of Liverpool. Obviously, they've got Idrissa Gana Gueye of Paris Saint-Germain. They've got Kalidou Koulibaly of Napoli in their defense, and of course Chelsea goalkeeper Edouard Mendy, who of course has been nominated as the best goalkeeper in the world by FIFA. So these are guys that can definitely bring up a high level of quality for the team. But surprisingly, it may surprise you, doesn't surprise us here, but it may surprise you to find out that Senegal never won the competition. They've got the squad, they've got the potential. Some call them golden generation, but the time is running out. So definitely Senegal will be hoping to make this very one count in Cameroon. And another team, before we go to the other team, you should also note the fact that apart from the fact that they've not really done well in great competitions, talking about Senegal, they put in the shift, but it has not been enough. They were losing finalists in Egypt in the year 2019, losing just by a goal to Algeria, a very, very early goal conceded. And of course, you want to look at the fact that this is the team that has been top of the CAF ranking, the top ranked team in Africa for some years now, for about 3 years. So there is consistency, but when it comes to teams like this, it's just about getting that extra effort, taking the extra step from being a very good team recognized by the world, by Africa, to lifting a trophy to show for it. Because when this generation is being remembered in the future, they may not be reckoned with due to the fact that they went on a run of being top of Africa's list in terms of performances, but about the trophies they have to show for it. So another team definitely that would be looking to make this time count is Egypt. So Egypt are dark horses definitely when you look at the AFCON, 7-time winners. They have won the most title in all of Africa, but 2010 was the last time they lifted the trophy. So that's a number of years ago. They would be looking to stamp their authority again on the African continent, and that man Mohamed Salah will be very, very crucial to doing that. As I mentioned earlier, arguably the best player in the world right now, considering his form for Liverpool, shattering records here and there. And of course, he has also been nominated as one of the final 3 players that would be contesting for the FIFA Best Award alongside Robert Lewandowski and Lionel Messi of Paris Saint-Germain. So for Egypt, yes, one player is not enough to win a competition, but definitely if guys like Mohamed Elneny of Arsenal and some other huge talents they've got in the squad can just come together and they'll it's about momentum really, just get one win after the other consistently. They could be in the final, and who says they can't win the trophy at the end of the competition? And only Egypt, just mentioned, only the Pharaohs of Egypt have won more AFCON titles than Cameroon. The indomitable Lions of Cameroon are the hosts, so obviously that puts them among one of the favorites, because you can never really you can't underestimate the importance of fans when it comes to football. They are the 12th man. The little effort you may put in at any point can be magnified by your fans when you've got the fans roaring and cheering you on to victory. So Cameroon hosting the competition they are 5-time winners. They've got a new federation president in their football side, talking about the legend Samuel Eto'o. So maybe they would be looking to reward him or just to welcome him into the office officially with a trophy. And which better trophy is there to welcome your federation president than such a huge one as the AFCON? But beyond that, they've won their opening match, which gives them momentum as well. Momentum is very crucial when you talk about competitions. It's just few games, and if you win one after the other, you build momentum, and before you know it, whether you were favorites or not before the start of the competition, you may just go on to win it. So for Cameroon, who says they can't? And those are the major favorites from our own end. Of course, the list is debatable. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. You may want to make a shout for teams like Nigeria, Tunisia, talk about the Black Stars of Ghana, Morocco, and some of these teams. But when you start with Nigeria, this is a team that, of course, many would fancy. The Super Eagles of Nigeria are always favorites when you head to competitions like AFCON. They're either winning the bronze medal or getting to the finals or thereabouts. But when you look at the fact that some of the off-field actions for them lately have not been so encouraging, sacked their coach Gernot Rohr and replaced him with an interim manager who is going to oversee this AFCON tournament, you need stability for a team to go on to win the AFCON, and maybe that may just be the difference maker. Some of their key players also were not released, the likes of Victor Osimhen, Emmanuel Dennis. These guys are on form for their country. Maybe Osimhen has been injured truly, but when you look at Emmanuel Dennis and the top scorer in the last AFCON in Egypt, Odion Igalo, all these guys not being there, maybe these little details, these little elements can compound and just make the difference, be the difference between Super Eagles going on to win the trophy for the first time since 2013 and just falling short. Their fans will hope they don't, but we keep our fingers crossed and remain neutral from our own end. So for Morocco, Hakim Ziyech of Chelsea obviously is not present. For Tunisia, they were in the finals of the FIFA Arab Cup last year. They lost to Algeria in the finals in extra time. The Black Stars of Ghana have not been mightily impressive lately, but when you talk about continental giants like this, sometimes it could just be a player on form. It could be Jordan Ayew, could be Andre Ayew, it could be Thomas Partey. These guys just busting into life all of a sudden. We've seen that before in competitions, and then you build on one match after the other and go on to win. So of course, we could even have a winner outside all these giants we have mentioned, but the AFCON is always exciting to watch. You rarely see a 5-0 victory in the AFCON. The games are always tight. There is a lot of energy, intensity. So if you have not started following the AFCON, you may want to join the bus as early as possible. We'll take a quick break right now. When we come back, this is the month of January, we start with the latest from the world of transfer. Thank you so much for staying with us. We move to transfer stories now. This is the month of January. Some signings have been made already. Kieran Trippier joining Newcastle and some other big signings already. But let's look at some other transfer stories. According to The Athletic, Tottenham's £54 million record signing, Tanguy Ndombele, seemed to be on his way out of the North London club. And when we talk about Ndombele, this is a guy that came to Tottenham with a lot of promise, the record signing, but you could say if you have been following Tottenham Hotspur that he has not really lived up to the expectation. There has been flashes of brilliance here and there, a good performance, a wonder goal and all these things, but when you pay £54 million for a player, you'd expect more than when Ndombele has delivered. So it's always about consistency for clubs as big as Tottenham. It's not about showing flashes of brilliance a game and then you switch off for some. But with all due respect to Ndombele, we wish him the very best if he stays at Tottenham or moves away. But Ndombele is not the only guy that seems to be on his way out of Tottenham Hotspur. According to Fabrizio Romano, their 24-year-old Dutch winger Steve Bergwijn also appears to be on his way out. So for Tottenham, with a new coach, you'd expect some of these things to happen. Antonio Conte replacing Espirito Santo last year, coming with his own philosophy, having his own kind of players. There's been rumors about the fact that he'd like to sign Adama Traore of Wolverhampton Wanderers as a wing back. You would recall the last time he was in England, he had the likes of Victor Moses and Marcos Alonso at the back doing a lot of work, which is very crucial to the way he plays. So when you see some of these guys being linked with a move away, players want to participate actively in a World Cup here to have a chance of representing their national team. So quite a number of transfers should be expected. And then this is a big one. According to Le Parisien in France, Kylian Mbappe could turn down a move to Real Madrid and sign a new contract with Paris Saint-Germain. So for Mbappe, this is a guy still very young, still a number of years ahead of him to shine at the top level, still improving as he would admit as well. But you look at his trajectory so far, already a World Cup winner, has several awards in the bag, scores goals, has an incredible number of goals already at his age, and of course a Nations League winner in Europe as well. So for this man, he's looking towards reaching the heights of the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, obviously. But it remains to be seen whether staying in France will offer him that or moving to the Galacticos, being one of the Galacticos in Real Madrid. We'll keep our fingers crossed and just expect the best for our sports. And then according to 90 Minutes, Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel has suggested that England midfielder Ross Barkley could be allowed to leave on loan this month. Yet another player, an English midfielder with a huge potential. When you consider the kind of chances he has had at Chelsea and his trajectory so far in his career, you'd also think it would make sense for Ross Barkley to seek a move away, even if it's on a short-term basis. We would also be going away from your screen for now on Sport Vibes this week, because with this we've come to the end of the show, but definitely we will return next week to serve you some of the very latest from the world of sports. Ensure you subscribe and follow us across our social media platforms from Facebook to Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and of course Telegram. My name is Bolaji Alimi. I hope you enjoyed the ride. Thank you so much. Bye for now.